right now. Opening, closing that. Opening, what am I doing? What seriously am I doing? Oh, the people.
Opening YouTube on your
That's
phone?
right, the people. Everybody. And is this us? Is this us? That's us. That's us right now. Why is it all white? It got rid of my oh no.
Oh, I
Because I
see
got the
it.
new phone. I got the new phone, and so I'm signed out. Maybe this is why I've been getting signed out of everything, but why would it do that on my computer? Okay. No, I want more options than that. This one. Yes.
And hello, everyone saying hi. Well, whilst David is
Mm-hmm.
fixing what he needs to fix on his end.
And it still turned off dark mode. Like, please, come on. I can't do this without dark mode. Dark theme.
Okay, your screen, the color looks different than it looks on my screen. Do
Oh,
I
really?
see? Yeah, like it's different enough that I can actually understand why you say it's golden, but like I'm taking a screenshot so you can see them side by side to appreciate why I think it's orange.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah, I put on my glasses because I noticed this last week. It was just getting a little bit blurry for certain things, just a little bit, and so it was like either I increase the font size yet again or admit that I am not a teenager anymore, and so I wear my glasses. I mean, this is for distance vision, by the way. Um, anyway, what are we talking about? Like, and even doing and
Well,
everything?
I mean, right
Mm.
now I sent you the text
Oh,
message so that way
oh,
you can see
okay,
my
hold on.
screenshot
Yeah.
where I swear it's slightly different colors. And so that way you know I'm not totally going off on what I see.
Um,
Mine looks more orange.
which one
Hang
is
on.
yours?
The one on the left.
Okay,
Okay.
I
We're
think
just
we.
going to disagree. I think that David has written notes in orange. He thinks they're in gold. They look slightly different on his screen, I swear. So
This
that's where
is.
we are starting.
Look,
Um,
hang on. We have a screenshot. Okay, so
yeah.
it's this is going to be our next poll.
Which color?
Yeah. Okay, so
What do you call this color?
I know that we need to do stuff, but that's tiny little throwback. So remember, for those of you who actually like either watched or listened to our podcast, a while back we had an episode where we talked about how both of us wanted to be animators at one point in time. So when I was growing up, one of the things that I always had, and I had this all the way up into high school, like every time it ran out, I would get a new one. I would get a very specific brand of 36 markers. They were Pentel and they had a yellow cover.
Hmm.
Have you seen this before at all? Is there any familiarity?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you know these?
I'm a I'm a marker aficionado.
Are you? Are you?
I am.
Oh my goodness. This is a random question. I
Let's see.
hope, and I honestly hope it's a no. Have you read The Sun Also Rises? Ernest Hemingway.
Honestly, I don't think so. But check this out.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Okay.
So yes, and that's just one of my sets around here. I won't get into. You've seen on Instagram, I put my entire organized collection of markers, right?
What? How did I?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a while back. But
All
anyway,
right. Okay.
sorry. I
So.
interrupted you. Also, before you go on to The Sun Also Rises, I
Uh
want
huh.
to say, hey, Mateus, it's nice that you're here again. And I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better.
Woo! Okay.
Okay.
So that's a big pass on The Sun Also Rises. Honestly, it was just Ernest Hemingway. It's a big pass on Ernest Hemingway too. I'm gonna say that, but it just I can't even describe to you the experience of having Ernest Hemingway sit there and explain to me exactly what afición means to Spaniards. Just ugh.
Not
I
good. Okay.
was ready to dump that in the trash. But anyway, so now every time I hear aficionado or anything like that, it takes me back to freshman year in the wrong way. But that was a great class. Okay, so anyway, Pentel markers, I always had a
Mm-hmm.
set, right? And the color that I'm seeing here reminds me of a very, very specific marker. It's not ochre, which I know is pronounced ochre now. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's the one that's to its immediate right. Because, of course, I arranged them in rainbow order, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. And incidentally, I can show you something that I did with those markers because I have it and I know it's here, but I just haven't been able to find it recently. It's my dragon picture that I did.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I still have it.
Okay.
It is a little bit faded, so I will show you. But now I just want to go and look at your Instagram to find these markers because, anyway. And it was also a big moment for me when I switched from Pentel to Sharpie. All right, language creation.
Yes, and just a little, well, hopefully every week keeps getting a little better. And I also just want to say that I feel like Jasmine is turning on me because she says it's for sure gold. And I just feel I have to win Jasmine back.
Come, Jasmine, come to the Canaan side.
Oh, and I keep freezing on my screen, so
Yeah.
sorry, you guys, if you see me totally freezing. I don't know whose internet is popping in and out, but
It's probably mine. Like,
it's good.
so yeah, you are a little choppy, and that's a shame. Your audio is coming through, but like we've been dropping internet for a few minutes, 5 to 6 times every single day. So,
Okay.
something to look forward to.
You know what's going to happen in this live stream. Okay, but we have a poll to get to first.
Yes.
Because if you recall, the patrons were actually voting on the word for possum.
Yes. Okay.
And suggesting a word for possum. And like, I don't want to embarrass myself by saying these out loud. Can you pull up the, no.
I mean, I'm back to one phone here.
That's right. That's right. I was going to make you. Okay. I'm going to start at the bottom. Got this? I got this.
You can do it.
Okay. So I'm going to read the protoforms.
Okay.
So these are not modern. Because I only noted the protoforms when I was calculating.
Got it.
So Nusslease is at the bottom, but that was a good suggestion. All of them got votes, by the way, so that was exciting.
Cool.
Gitaz was the next one. Shaksha. So after that.
Shaksha, yeah.
Do this. I can do this. Hanam was next.
Which one was that?
Hanam.
Hanam?
X schwa in.
Hanam. Okay, okay.
Hanam.
Got it.
Keith was after that, and then the winner.
Okay.
So we're just I see your face. We're just gonna move on to the winner.
Okay.
Azif.
Azif? How's it?
With the bilabial. Azif.
Oh, Azif. Okay, can you just type it out somewhere? So, where should we put this? Underneath anything is possible.
There.
Oh, Azif. So that was the protoform?
Yes.
And the modern form is
Still on Patreon. One moment, please.
Sure.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah. See, this is also why I didn't.
No, with a color lang, you can have it be written and spoken. All you have to do is make it so that your speakers can change into those colors while they're speaking.
Okay, you guys, if you're watching, this is me trying to remember where all the IPA characters are for this language, because we're using a lot of IPA characters I don't often use, and so that took a while, but I found it, and there's the modern form.
Okay. Ajih. Ajih. Oh, I like it. Okay, let's go ahead and figure out what the dual would be since we're here. How do we do that?
Wait, didn't we? Yeah, I got to get back to YouTube. Okay, we figured out last time what the dual was already, right?
Yes, and so I'm trying to figure out what the dual of this would be.
Oh, you want to actually two possums.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
why
I was
not?
like, we've already done the duel?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Zif, and then she becomes, that's definitely going to be that, that's definitely going to be that, and that's definitely, we did the same thing. It's definitely going to be that. Okay, and now let's see what happens when a frequentive comes before a retroflex.
Okay. I'm going to sound changes. So I feel like we had this. At one point, I remember we had like an entire list of fricatives side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know we talked about this.
Fricative fortition. Fricatives become stops or affricates after nasals. Weak fricative dissimilation. Fricatives become stops in front of coronal fricatives. Oh my.
Oh, are we gonna get? Is this gonna be a stop?
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. Oh wow. I can't wait for this. Because Jeep. Wait, let's see. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that duel.
That is great.
We fired that cannon. All right.
So Jake had asked about retroflex assimilation, and that was one thing I thought too. However, that only truly affects sibilants.
Yeah. You can actually do it though. Here's a plain voiceless bilabial fricative. Fa. Here's a retroflex voiceless bilabial fricative. Fa. My tongue was bent backwards while I did that.
Interesting. Okay. So we now have the word for possum. We can now say there are two possums.
Oh, this is amazing. 1 possum, 2 possum, 3 possum, blue possum. We're on our way.
And now we're on where we left off.
Yeah.
We want to begin with the apparently not orange notes. I literally wrote down start with the orange note. And you wanted to pull out your little handbook that you have.
It's my sample. It's my sample of the World Lexicon of Grammaticalization. I'm so delighted that I got this free sample in the mail.
And you wanted to review examples specifically of child because that was potentially going to be a source for partitive.
So here you have child classifier, child diminutive. And by the way, feel free to double check this in the real version if you'd like. Here we go, child partitive. Lingala, moana is child, and then moi plus noun becomes a partitive marker. Mame, a bit of water. Mamikolo, a few days. Oh, wow. I was about to say, oh my gosh, I know him. Because somebody at UCSD, a graduate student who got his PhD, was named Ezra Van Everbrook. But no, this is the Van Everbrook from 1958, so probably not the same guy.
Well, either that or he has a time machine.
Yeah. Oh, it's an Ewe too? Ewe is, of course, if you don't know it, this is the language that is famous for having bilabial voiced and voiceless fricatives and labiodental voiced and voiced fricatives. All 4 of them phonemes, all distinct. And it has a W. Sukli. Suklibi, sugar child, piece of sugar.
I'm just now figuring out how these are all organized. This book is really genius.
It really is. Yeah, in this case, you can just go straight alphabetical, start with child, unless they've made it even better and have added more stuff.
Mine's on page 90. What page?
Oh, no, mine's on page 67. Thanks.
So many things in between that you must be missing.
Yes. So let me read you this note to see if there's been an update. Because in my version it says more examples from other language families are required to substantiate this grammaticalization, especially since both languages cited belong to the Niger-Congo phylum. Has there been an update?
That's exactly what mine says.
Damn. All right. So we're going out on a little bit of a limb. But like that Lingala example, which sounds a lot like Ingala, doesn't it?
It does, and in fact, I didn't even know there was a language called Lingala, and then whenever I was flipping through the book, I saw that, and I was so excited, because I was like, that's Lingala. Can we just take a minute to appreciate, though, that this is like, piece of sugar is literally sugar child?
Mm-hmm. Hello, sugar child. I like it.
I was just thinking how cute that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know it's not like super. Okay, so it's out on a limb. I get that, but I also like it.
Yeah. Now there is something I would like to look up, and gosh, I'm really feeling the loss of that second phone at this point. I would like to look up what the typing of Lingala. I have a feeling it's going to be SVO, predominantly head initial.
Okay, on it.
But I don't know. Where's that? Surprised there isn't an advertisement in this. Upgrade to the full version.
It's just a second edition. It's not like they knew they were going to be ripping you off.
Oh, they did. I waited until I bought it.
Okay. It's an SVO language.
Yep.
And what was your other question?
If it's predominantly head initial, so are we talking like adjective, noun, adjective, and especially possessors? It's probably, I mean, if that's the genitive, I don't know.
It's noun, genitive, noun, adjective order.
Yeah, that's strongly head initial. And of course, what we're dealing with is, at least in one part, I mean, it's going to be a head final language. But we were going to be okay with mixed headedness. And so,
yes.
Okay, yeah, and this is why I wanted to look it up and see if there were more examples, because for something like this to work, right, and using child, right, we're essentially talking like leg, child, possum. Oh, sorry, possum. This would essentially be our proto order right here. And so the question is, does it make sense?
And this would be how you would say like the possum's leg.
Yeah, I mean, it's a partitive, right? So like, unless we come up with some other construction that's specifically for body parts, I mean, that's the whole reason you have a partitive, is to talk about things that are a part of other things.
Right. And, okay.
I feel like you're not vibing with this.
It's just seeing it typed out like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the order. I don't know. The child would be more at this point attached to the word possum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it would become a prefix. We're talking about like schematic proto order. The
Do you mind then if I just do that? Okay. I just need to see it attached.
Sure, yeah. By the way, in Finnish, the partitive and accusative merged because one of them ended with an M and one of them ended with an N, and then that distinction collapsed into word final N.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just across the language, you can't have M at the end of a word anymore, except you probably can in borrowings now. So yeah.
Because what it would start, so like the semantic journey this would take is that this combination of child possum would means something like part of or piece of possum, like it's
Yeah.
a small piece of. And so that's why it would also then be the it's my brain is just taking a minute to get over the hurdle from partitive to genitive.
Yes. It's really hard to do, like, if you don't feel it, right? Which
Right.
I'm gonna admit I don't either. So that's why I wanted to see the example. And that Lingala example, like, that's exactly what I was imagining. So clearly it's possible. Because basically you
Right.
have this larger word for child, it's become a little particle that comes directly before the noun, and you saw, like, with child water, it means like a puddle of water or a little bit of water. So, like,
Right.
it's made sense to humans somewhere before.
Mm-hmm.
And so theoretically, there's a way that this makes sense. But I think that we're on the same page where I'm not feeling it in my head. Like,
Okay.
I just can't get it. Let's
Like
try.
I'm on board though for
Mhm.
saying that we need to have child as a diminutive.
Yeah, and that's a slam dunk. That one's really easy. Let's give this one last shot before moving on to something else.
Okay.
And because I like the idea of having a prefix and a suffix for our nouns, that's kind of a fun idea. Let's try to put it in a sentence, something that makes sense. So, uh, what do you call a little opossumlet? You know,
Baby.
you know, like you know, the kid of a goat is a kid, and the kid of a
Yeah,
kangaroo is a
right.
joey. What's an opossumlet? I bet Bibleridian would know.
Um
Joey,
every
there he goes. Comes in right
is
with it.
it?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Bibleridian. And Jake and Logan. So many people knew that it was called a Joey.
Yep.
I guess it makes sense given.
They're marsupials and have
Yeah.
pouches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here we go. The Joey grabbed the opossum's leg. And we know that still keeping English words, we're going to have the Joey, the opossum's leg grabbed. That's going to be the order.
Can we just take a minute to appreciate the fact that we're actually going to have a word defined as Joey?
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
why that makes me so happy, but we have to have a Joey. That's nice.
You know, when I was thinking of writing a middle grade series of books for my sister, that involved an anthropomorphic cat and various anthropomorphic animals, having wee little mysterious adventures. I sat down and thought, okay, it doesn't make any sense to use words like, you know, man, woman, boy, girl, or anything like that if there are no humans. And so I had to come up with English terms for all animals at different ages, and I did at one point. That was nice. Anyway.
I was listening. I was also responding.
No. I'll
I'm winning. I'm winning Jasmine back to my side, so I'm making sure I respond. Okay, so by the way, that is a delightful story, and you're absolutely right. Like they wouldn't have the words that we would have.
Yeah.
I was on there.
Okay, so and then leaving out articles, Joey, what we're talking about is leg opossum and perhaps leg X opossum crab.
Megan's on my side. I don't know what side we're on right now, but that's okay. I'm just building my team.
Man, I cannot wait for the post-season 2 dodgeball game because you know Bibleridian's going to be on my team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I'm on board with that. Everything looks good so far.
Mm-hmm. Now, in a traditional head final language, you do get the possessor coming first, and I don't know why the first example that comes to me is from the very first theme song from One Piece, but Baketo no coin, Soreto you wanna be my friend, and so on. It was a weird mix of English and Japanese, but yeah, Baketo no coin. So no was the possessor, pocket is no is the particle, pocket is the possessor, and then coin, and I also don't know what that means. Like a pocket's coin, and I don't know what it means in the context of the song. Look, I don't get any of it. That was a bad example. Let's go to High Valerian. Okay.
I do want to say though that Mike has specifically asked, could we have articles for one of the languages?
Oh yeah,
because
not this one, but
interested.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, you're gonna have to wait. And Alk, Alk is with me. Biblaridian says you may not want him on a dodgeball team.
I'll take you to new heights.
Okay, so Emer says the duel should be. Okay, so we did verify it with Memer, right? I swear we verified that at one point. The dual has the P in it instead of the fricative because we have a rule somewhere near the bottom. I feel like it's rule 17 or something. The S did. No, wait. In Protoform, it was the S that triggered the change.
Yes.
The S then would later change to the palatal fricative. Because in Protoform, it is the retroflex S.
Yeah, I wanted that. It's going to happen one way or the other. Yeepy. Yeah.
Okay. I think I got all the questions there that were relevant to this.
So Memer.
Okay, so please tell me about this note.
Yes, I'll tell you about the note, but Memer, it's going to happen anyway. I'm just going to tell you that. I understand that it's already palatalized, and if you want me to, I will go rewrite the rules that includes palatal fricatives, but it's changing. That dissimilation is happening, and I am so here for it. Man, I feel like oh, there is something back there. It's not my back. What is that? Darn it. Oh, it's this old cat toy. You know, I stopped using it.
Did you just pull that out of the sweatshirt from last year?
Yeah, from my little kangaroo pouch over here. You know, I wear this sometimes. I actually wear this as a hoodie.
Oh, I've never seen it off the chair, but it's just so bizarre that you've randomly found a cat toy.
I mean, it's not random. This is where I hide Kitty's special string. In fact, is she around? Hang on.
Okay.
This is her special string. Oh, brother, she heard the word string, apparently opened her eye. But yeah, I have to hide it because it's her special toy, and she doesn't like it if Roman plays with it.
Gotcha.
So, it just needs to stay hidden so that I can play with it when it's only her. But yeah, so this thing, though, I thought it would be a cool cat toy because it bounced around, but it's honestly kind of dangerous. It's
it
metal.
Kind of looks it.
Yeah, I think... Thank you for your service, Marie Kondo. Okay, so... here we go.
Did not spark joy.
Did not. Oh, sparked something. God, I'm so glad that wasn't my back, because I was about to be low-level freaked out. Hey.
One more question before you talk about the High Valerian that's on the screen.
Got it.
Can you tell us what the name of the instrument is that is fourth from the left on your wall?
Oh, does that include the tambourine?
I don't know.
Because if
what's beside the guitar and then what's to the far right?
Okay, yeah, that's a
ukulele on the far right.
That's a dulcimer, right?
Okay.
And then that's a ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
Regular guitar, banjo, and that's tambourine. But yeah, my good guitars aren't even there. The ones that I really use, those are my babies. That one's over there, and then my electric guitar is I think under the couch.
So when we form our LangTime band,
mm-hmm.
I'm the tambourinist. I'm calling it. Okay.
I'm there for that.
Now,
Okay.
talk about this example that we need to talk about.
Okay, Zaldrizolenton, the house of the dragon, right? It's structured in such a way that you have dragon in the genitive and the dragon's house. Zaldrizolenton. And so that's the usual way it goes. And so it matches up one-to-one with English's the dragon's house, and that's kind of how you think of it.
Right.
And that's usually the way it goes. However, I learned something really just wonderful and magical when I was studying Middle Egyptian at Berkeley. So in Middle Egyptian, it's x of y, very very simple. So something like, I don't know. What's a thing? What's a thing?
A desk.
Did you say a desk?
You said, what's a thing? So I said a desk. I thought you needed nouns. I don't know.
Sure, like that I would know in Middle Egyptian. I mean, why didn't you go for street light first?
A cave. A wall?
Shoot, what's the word
a
for
rock?
wall? Crap. I'm forgetting the word for everything, okay? But ba, how about that? This doesn't make any sense, okay? But ba is the word for like leg or foot, okay? So,
Sure.
ba en per, okay? That would mean the foot of the house or the house's foot. And who knows? It might mean the base of the house. That might be a real thing. But Middle Egyptian has this wonderful magical thing called honorific transposition. And what honorific transposition is if one of these, if the possessor is somehow of a higher and more elevated status than the possessee, then you can just flip the order. And so it's like the foot of the king wouldn't be, or the foot of the god wouldn't be ba and necher, because that would be putting the god last, which you just do not do.
I feel like that's something we need to play with in the cat language.
Absolutely, 100%. But like that, just that idea gave me so much freedom. You know, like when you learn something about a language
Right.
and it's like, oh my goodness, there are more constraints here than I knew before. So like, I have freely used that in High Valyrian, since it's got, you know, a little bit of loosey-goosey order in certain places, right? Not as much as Latin. And so that's why, like, when I translated Daenerys Stormborn, right, it's, what was it? Daenerys Gelmasmo. Daenerys Gelmasmo, which is Daenerys of the Storm. And technically you would put of the storm first, but I just allowed to have a little honorific transposition there. It felt nice.
It does feel nice.
Okay, so bearing that in mind, let us return.
And people are really on board with using this for the cat language.
Oh yeah. Oh man. That's going to be so much fun with all those noun classes. So help me. We're going to have noun classes. It's going to be great. I love them so much. Okay. So
Also going to remind us that this really is the word for possum. Okay.
Right. Oh, thank you. That's a nice idea, so that we don't, forget.
I also want to draw attention to the quotation marks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. So what are we doing? Okay. So the Joey grabbed the opossum's leg. So, I guess we got to think about like what makes sense for us and how we want to do this. And I hate to jump ahead because I'd love to solve problems before creating new problems. But I think that we should talk about other modifiers. We should talk about adjectives. Because I really think that they're not going to be stative verbs in this language, which would mean that you're probably going the other route, which is nounish adjectives.
Okay.
And then we need to figure out how that works.
Okay. We do. I also have a question from Evan asking if the partitive could be used the same way as finishes. Partitive.
I mean,
Finish?
it's not going to be identical.
That sounds weird with the genitive finishes. It sounds weird when you add the apostrophe s in speaking. So I'm just going to take that back and say the finish partitive.
There are so many puns with that language. My main Finnish book is called Complete Finnish.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so do you want to tackle the adjective order right now? Is that
Yeah, or at least talk about it.
okay?
So, yeah. Oh, by the way, okay, I'm getting too distracted. But yeah, Ibanez Red X, because of course, my history is just with heavy metal music, and I love it. Fell in love with like the X style guitar when I saw Marty Friedman playing it. Well, his is more of a flying V. Dave Mustaine has an X. I was a big Megadeth fan. Anyway, I've seen them live thrice. But Dave Mustaine is a little out there now. All right, Axl Rose though, A+. Okay, so if you think about like basing adjectives on nouns, you think about nouns that have very, not stereotypical, what's the word I'm looking for? Where like very distinctive qualities so that you can basically just zero derive it, probably with some sort of apposition. And one of the things that was, remember, that was okay, one of the things that was giving me license here was the fact that you can always have noun, adjective, word order for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was thinking about that, just like noun, modifier, word order just occurring without any reason, you know?
Okay. So is that where you're leaning instead of, well, I mean, and across the board, noun, adjective, word order doesn't really correlate as strongly with head final or head initial languages anyway. So like, I feel like there's always the leeway of having fun with that.
Yeah. And what we need to do is we need to come up with one particular noun that we feel could be saliently transformed into an adjective, but something that is definitely very nouny and then has kind of attached with it, or could come attached with it, some sort of an obvious adjectival meaning.
Right.
So
I think it needs to be something specifically based on feel or smell, because I think those are going to be their strongest. So like a noun that either has a smell that gets associated with sweet or something like that, or a noun that's associated with like rough or strong or something like that.
Okay. I have an idea. I have two ideas, but one is going to take more research, so I think we should put it off. I think somebody like Logan could help us out with that. I don't know if Logan is here. I thought I saw his icon earlier, but
it was earlier because he was
okay.
One of the ones who knew it was a Joey.
Right. Okay. We need to find out what opossums might enjoy the smell of. I love the idea of just deriving something for sweet directly from something sweet smelling for opossums, but I would. I mean, we're playing fast and loose with realism, but I would love something that, opossums kind of like, and start there. So I think that's going to take a little bit of research. Sap to sticky is good. I was also thinking, though, for tactile, rock to hard.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, though, I kind of love sap to sticky.
That is nice. I do like that. And I was just looking up what they eat. Fruit, grains, insects are the main things.
Yeah. And we will get there, Logan. Trust me. But we gotta crawl before you walk.
Okay, so down here in the vocabulary notes, I'm actually going to make some notes. I said I need to do that. Okay, so sap to sticky, rock becoming hard, and something becoming sweet. Okay.
Snow cold is another.
Because we're not going to tackle all of them today, obviously, but I want to keep note of any good ideas.
Where are these going?
In the vocabulary notes on page 5.
Oh gosh, look at this. Our notes are organized. Man, that's so good.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Snow, cold. Got that. Um, oh, that's kind of nice.
Oh, the mother worm.
Yeah, that's sweet. Well, of course, if we're doing that, we also do pouch worm.
Oh, yeah, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I like the pouch worm
Yeah, so do I.
better of those two. I think that saves mother for potentially other.
Yeah, this is really nice though. It was really sweet.
It really is very sweet.
Yeah. By the way, I was reminded of this, not to get too far off track again, but my old friend from grad school, Scott Weidman, he shared a book with me that I hadn't read. It was an epic from Mali, the Epic of Sundiata, and one of the kind of amazing things about that, it's like, it's this epic story about this amazing king, Sundiata, and all these amazing things he did. But as a child, he didn't walk ever, and in fact, like, he built up his upper body, but like he would just crawl around, and all the way to, for like the first, it was like the first 6 years of his life, and children would like make fun of him and tease him and try to beat him up. And then his mother one day is just really sad. He says, "I'm so sad that you don't walk. Like, I wish that you could walk." And so he turns to his mother and says, "Do you want me to walk?" And she said, "Yes, I really do." And he said, "Okay." And so he went and grabbed a stick and drove it into the earth and then pulled himself up. And then from that day forth was able to walk and run, and like he was just, an amazing superhero. And then he carried that staff with him always. Anyway, that often comes to me.
Interesting story.
I don't know why. Anyway, it was a good one. I recommend it if you can read the Epic of Sundiata.
So Evan says, can we have adjectives that actually are the nouns? Just like being used to mean sap with no lexical drift. That was a question. Oh, Logan says slug to yummy. That's funny.
I mean, yeah, generally you do. In all languages that do that. It happens in English. Not thinking of any off the top of my head, but I know that we got them. What's one that in English that's like that?
Sorry. No, that where you could just use sticky like a noun, like the sticky.
It's more like the noun and the adjective have the exact same form and they're both basic. We've got things like that, right?
Fun.
Oh, that's true. Fun. That's an easy one.
Literally.
But, yeah,
literally fun.
And something like violet.
Yeah, any color word really, because we use them as nouns and adjectives.
Yeah. Rose. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that'll happen. Don't worry about it. There are many different ways we can do it. It'll happen, just not every time. Because if it did every time, that would be boring.
Yuan says they do eat fruit, so maybe fruit would be the question mark source for sweet.
Ooh. What types of fruits do opossums like? Ooh.
According to the comment, apples and raspberries.
Apples and what?
Raspberries.
Oh, raspberries. Okay, we're not of a kind. Raspberries.
You don't.
No.
You don't like. Okay.
I don't do raspberries. Do you do raspberries?
I eat almost all fruit except the ones that make my mouth itch. Otherwise, pretty much all fruit.
I tend to steer clear of the bitter sour region of fruitdom.
Gotcha.
But man, blueberries, I mean, can we talk about this a second? Like, when like you grab one and it's like you never know if this is going to be the most amazing blueberry of your life or a total dud, like all from the same batch. It's just every single time.
But that's what makes it fun.
I guess.
Gamble.
But it's like you can just look at grapes and you know. right?
That is true. That is true. And I will say, for anyone who didn't know, East Texas is famous for its blueberries.
Is it
Um,
really?
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
we actually have a blueberry festival every summer
Hmm.
because it's blueberries everywhere out here.
Here in Garden Grove, we have the Strawberry Festival every summer because we had acres of strawberry fields. And of course, orange groves in Orange County, but they're all gone. All of them.
Mike is now saying, can we use the possum version of David's name for raspberry now?
And by the way, I really dropped the ball hard on that poll because like there are so many ways that our names could come out, and then I just got overwhelmed and I didn't do it. I'll get there.
We'll get there. And you're giving them great ideas the more you talk about what you don't like. It gives them really great ideas. Okay, so I added a couple more to the list because
Cool.
also I think it was Mike who
Oh,
had suggested
yeah,
tooth meaning sharp, which I
yeah.
thought was really nice. The dirt to bottom thing is actually, I think that's going to be probably not going to be able to work as adjective-y as we can use it in English, but it's still an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So putting it there. And so Mike is saying every language. David's name is a food he doesn't like.
And
We have some really good commenters.
and
Makes me
Jesse's
happy.
name will just be Social Security number.
Indeed. Okay, so which one do you want to start with? We did this for a reason. We were trying
We
to
did.
find a noun we wanted to start with.
We did, and I think that the easiest is going to be sapsticky.
Okay.
I think that one's a slam dunk, and so I think we should start there. So we need a word for sap.
Yeah, we do. So, also, by the way, at some point I'm going to start an actual list of our lexicon because we've got real words pushed into our notes here. So,
Right.
we'll get there. All right. So Yuan says ba.
Log. Log. That's weird. What's that come out as? And of course, we don't have that, right? So it would be lug. Oh,
As I didn't realize Ak was making a suggestion, and so I was just like, log. When did we talk about logs? Like, wait, that's an idea. Okay, so
I wanted to introduce everybody to this. This is an alternate sound changer. This is not the sound change applier. It's a little bit more difficult to use, or at least from my perspective, because I haven't tried to actually use it. But it's also, I think, a little bit more heavy duty. One of our patrons, Graham Hill, made it, and he did all the sound changes. So I know they work. So right.
holy cow, that's amazing. Good job, to Graham. And I was seeing which
Look. Huh,
form
really?
we put there.
That doesn't look right. Oh, wait. He's probably not using the IPA. Sorry. There we go. There we go. So, something that is lug in the protoform would come out as luck. Luck. Doesn't feel very sappy to me. Deep.
So, no problem. We figured out what you meant.
Graham. That might be nice.
We have not talked about consonant clusters of two stops, have we? Because some of the suggestions have like PK in, like the PK side by side in the protoform. Have we? Because we talked about the sonority hierarchy and what the.
Yeah, I don't think that we can do that, but you can just throw in a schwa and it's fine. So, Dark Horse's suggestion was, I think, to honor Graham Hill. So if we do just...
Oh!
Hold on a sec, make sure. Yeah. Gram. Gram. I think that just comes out as gram, right?
Oh, and that's even better, because then it's like preserved.
Yeah. Right. I want to make sure, of course, this is kind of our first time playing with a sound change applier. I want to make sure that is actually correct. So I'm going to go through this. Bear with me. Yep. Before voice coda. Nope, doesn't apply. Yeah. Voice, nope. Word plus doesn't apply. Creative dissimulation doesn't apply. Prothesis. The vowel E is inserted before geminates and before clusters that begin with either a nasal or a liquid. Okay, that doesn't apply. Long vowel quality changes also does not apply. Polar vowel polarization doesn't apply. Word vowel devoicing doesn't apply. Yeah, so it would be gram. I'm kind of fine with that. Are you?
Oh, I'm totally fine with it. How in the IPA keyboard do you type the R?
I don't know because I know it by feel. Let me try it out.
Okay.
It's
because I've hit every combination of dead key and R that I can think of, and it's
shift.
not.
Nope. Nope. That's it. Okay. It is. So shift. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Shift less than. And then shift R.
I swear I tried. Never mind. It works this time. Cool.
And now I've
Got
just
it.
written the word kananer.
Okay. So, and it would be the long A and everything, right?
Yes, and Mateus, yes, it does show a long vowel, and it should be a long vowel because there is a voiced coda there. So that's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Also, I need to do flashcards with Dutch diphthongs. I have to. Like, there's no other way I'm going to be able to do it. I've got to master them. I feel like I will transcend to the next level of humanity if I can do Dutch diphthongs. They're just so amazing.
Hawa says the word for sap is gram in knaner of gram.
Oh my god.
You guys are the best.
Thank you. That made my day.
So I've got, by our sap to sticky suggestion, I've actually got the Protoform Modern form written. So we have it written down.
Look at that, and look at those quotation marks. Very nice. Okay, so we have that.
Man.
We have that, and we can. Okay, so all right. Okay, so that was we just needed the form. We just needed the form first, so that we could then go back here and talk about the sticky opossum.
Every mother's worst nightmare.
Sticky opossum. Yep.
The sticky Joey.
Oh.
Bath time.
In order to spare Meridian, I am not going to tell the story I just thought of.
Oh, man. All right. So.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to have to teach me how to say the word for possum.
I can't even say it. It's a delightful word. It looks great, but it's so awful to say. Yee.
Okay, while you're sneezing, Mateus Mateus says, "Be careful. Once you learn the Dutch diphthong, you may find yourself developing a taste for mayonnaise."
I'm going to tell you this, and I hope you're horrified. I eat microkitten plain. I love them. I eat them like fish sticks. They're amazing. Oh, just
okay.
Delicious.
Okay, but going back. Oh god, I can't. And now I'm just gonna laugh too hard. I'm not gonna be able to say the word. I was gonna struggle on a good day, but on a laughing day, I'm
okay. I have to ask really quick. Have you seen The Last Airbender? Like,
Yeah.
the whole series. Okay. So we need to somehow. All right, the possums are the Fire Nation because now we're gonna have Zuko saying "Connor."
Although I feel like that would be the least likely nation for them to be.
Yeah, there are more cats, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to think about that.
I know, because the opossums. It seems like they would obviously be the Earth Nation, right?
Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have
No doubt
Connor.
about it.
We have Connor.
I mean, Toph can have Kanan too. She's my favorite, by the way,
Oh yeah.
in that series.
Gosh.
And if I had a bending power, I'd want it to be Earth.
Yeah, and we've discussed this, right? Right? Me and how everybody was saying I was an earthbender, and I was like, no way.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, for me it would be water all the way. It's amazing, but yeah, I do appreciate and recognize the arguments in favor of me being an earthbender. Okay.
Okay, so we have a head final language, mostly. We're good with
Yes.
headedness being shifty. What we're thinking is maybe doing noun adjective order.
Yes, and so this is the idea.
Okay.
The jichgram, the possum, the sticky one. That's the one I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way this construction comes to life. And so the question is, how do we make that real? How do we make it feel like this is how we want to say this? Does it need more? What does it need for, like, in your mind? Does it need more? Or are you fine with jichgram?
I was just like waiting to see how you meant, because when you create the language, do what you need to. Okay. There's something missing.
Okay. Then we need to figure out what that is, because that's going to get us right to our adjectives, and that in turn is going to help us with the problem that we started with, which is partitive possession.
I'm just going to say it. I don't want zero derived adjectives.
Ooh. Who was the one that was asking for that? Was it Evan?
Oh, sorry. I totally forgot about that from like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
I want it to be marked. I do.
Okay.
Which now means we have to figure out what would mark it.
So the first thing that comes to mind is, let's sketch all the ways. So we have the possum, the sticky one. The possum of stickiness.
Mike agrees, and it's like, I just want to add la after the gram. Gramla. That would be fun.
Well,
and then it sounds close to grammar. Okay, sorry, go on.
Possum of stickiness. And then, the possum of sticky one, possum of stickiness. There's also...
Because you would literally have started with, like, the possum of sap.
Ah, yes.
I like that.
And so, of course...
Oh. Jasmine agreed with me on Toph, and now she disagrees with me on this. I'm going to need a moment.
Stay Gramla.
Okay.
So here's the thing. This just...
I mean, if I'm outvoted, overvoted, whatever, like, I'm okay. I can actually concede when the majority has voted.
Are you suggesting that I cannot?
No, but I'm suggesting there are people in life who cannot.
Okay, I get that. Because, let me tell you, I am amazing at conceding. Like, I would love to run for president just for lose because just to lose because my concession speech would be so beautiful and amazing that they would be quoting it in textbooks. Like,
Nice.
all right.
Okay.
'Cause,
What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking that like something like this one. There is definitely an intuitive attractiveness to it. It essentially puts us right back with the same problem. We were trying to do this in order to figure out our partitives. This requires us to have it, or something.
This is how I understand getting from partitive to genitive.
Yeah. What?
The possum of sap.
Yes.
That helps me understand in a weird way. I don't know why, but something just clicked in my brain. What was I just thinking, though? I was thinking something else. I do have a question. When you switch from the opossum spelling to the possum spelling, is that a conscious choice?
Oh, dear.
I mean, they're both totally optional. It's just really interesting to me to see how I've been using the O version because I'm like, that's how it's always written when we write about it in our thing. And then here it is, O-less.
It's not conscious. It's going to take a lot of unlearning. And hopefully this season will be very therapeutic for me in terms of processing my feelings with the word opossum, because I have felt or understood or taken it as an accepted fact that possum was the correct word and opossum was an overcorrection my entire life.
Interesting. But I also feel like you didn't grow up with... Did you have a lot of possums?
Of course. Where do you think this is?
Okay.
Man, we got possums and coyotes. It's wonderful here. Little skunks. They're so dear. They're so dear, the little skunks. The little darlings.
Obviously, you've never been sprayed by one.
No. I'm careful, but no, I have not. But the way they root around with their little noses. Oh.
Anyway. Okay, so possum of sap is getting some love here. This idea of, which again means we would have to.
Yeah, and possum with sap, that also works. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, so we could potentially get commutative.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me, not quite, it reminds me of French. You know, like, would they just use everywhere?
Sure. I don't speak French.
Well, but like we've all seen it, right? Like, unfortunately, the only example that's coming to mind is this this amazing crepe shop that used to be in Berkeley that closed down, Crepes a Go-Go, which is just like you just say and then just whatever you want, and it's assumed that the two go together somehow. What's a really common French phrase that has that in English? Pret-a-porter. Remember when that movie came out? Aini Kamosi. Ready to wear? Here comes the hot step. Nothing? Dang.
Sorry.
All right. It's all good.
Oh, Matei says, the pain au chocolat.
Yeah, pain au chocolat. A la mode. That's the one. A la mode. Right?
Duck à l'orange.
À l'orange. Oh, gosh. I don't even know who the comedians are, but there was this hilarious sketch that I heard about the frog and peach. These two British guys and this guy telling him about his menu. It only features dishes that have frogs and peaches. So we have pêche à la frog and frog à la pêche and so on. It was great. Anyway. Ooh.
I am not a fan of frog.
I've never eaten it. Have you?
Yeah.
What?
It's like you forget where I was raised.
Oh my god. What, is this just a common thing? Y'all just eating frogs like over there? Are you serious?
Yes. Wow. Okay.
How many times?
Probably like 5 or 6, but like I don't gravitate towards them, so it has to be my only option.
Oh my god.
Otherwise, I go for like the catfish or the, Whatever. Thank you, Jasmine. It's a common Southern dish.
Oh my
Also
goodness.
had all sorts of things, but
That is
yes.
extraordinary. I swear, I'm imagining you growing up in a swamp now.
This is really funny because yes, there were actually big bullfrogs that my dad would eat. Anyway.
Did he catch them? Did he catch and prepare them himself?
My uncle actually raised turtles for turtle soup. So, like, this is...
Oh my God, are you serious?
I'm serious.
Is that what happened to my turtle named Jonesy?
I can't... I don't know. And I don't want to traumatize you because I think it traumatized me as a child. So,
oh my goodness.
Let's talk about our sticky possum problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if we're coming back from that one though. Let's save it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Possum, sticky.
Mm-hmm.
We know we want. Okay, so the order we're fine with. We just need to figure out how we're marking. We've lost you. I can tell.
Okay. No.
The laugh is right there.
I have created a couple of languages in my time. I can do this. I know how to do this. I know how to function.
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
No, it's too much now. It's too much. So, let's break this into two camps. And let's not focus too much on the fact that maybe we should be doing postpositions, not prepositions.
Right. You just had an idea.
I did. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's too big. It's too big. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, focus.
While you're focusing, Jasmine's imagining a turtle wearing a black turtleneck and a beret, and that is just the most adorable thing.
I would love to see a drawing of yours of that. Okay, and then...
All right.
Right. Okay. I know that these are just kind of notes, but do you kind of see what I'm seeing?
I do, where the verb, it would be like, yes.
Almost as if this isn't a positive and is itself a descriptor.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think of this?
I suddenly realized that I think the dogs will have articles in their language.
Most likely.
Okay. I like it.
And do you like it with your inner Jessie heart, or do you like it because I just suggested it and I'm clearly in favor of it?
No, I like it. Especially if we can change the stick to the sap to like Like essentially we'd be saying like the
The meaning of
the
this.
sticky possum.
The meaning of this is the possum climbed the mountain with a stick.
There we go.
Like
Okay.
like a walking stick or something.
Okay. Okay.
I was just trying to come up with something just to make sure that I had it in my head. And this example is clear. I wanted to move from this example to adjectives.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 100% on board with this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh. Thank you. Okay, because this is really starting to click in my mind. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
This means.
One more.
We definitely need. Okay. Go on.
One more.
Yes, and then past.
To things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, yes. Wow, we're going full French here. I like it. Okay.
And that's always the problem. Every time we come up with an idea, that means we need more words.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, like. Sorry here. Yeah. Thank you for that term. That's what we want, Debbie Watson. By the way, was Ricky Ricardo's name Ricardo?
I never stopped to think about it.
Neither did I, but it was like, for some reason...
He's only ever referred to as Ricky. I don't know that he... Oh my gosh.
Because, like, I was just thinking of I Love Lucy, right? And then how, like, Lucille Ball obviously didn't change her name. And I was like, well,
right.
why did Desi Arnaz? And I was like, well, maybe it's because Desi is not very common. And then I was like, so he went with Ricky. And then but then Ricky Ricardo.
I know they mentioned his whole name at some point on the show, and I'm going to find that out. That is too funny, though. Did you know that originally CBS did not want to let them air as a couple? They wanted the show, but not them as a couple, because they said that no American would believe that a redhead American woman would be in love with a Cuban man.
I'm not actually surprised, but...
It is
wow.
Ricardo Alberto Fernando Ricardo Ideacha.
Ricardo Alberto Fernando Ricardo Ideacha.
Oh yeah, so you got to show me up and say it nicer.
Un poquito, solamente. Okay, so yes, Ricardo. Wow, must be why I went by Ricky.
You know what? Anime fan has a good point. We have something to celebrate. It's time.
Yay! Oh.
It is Kopiko time.
Okay. Oh, mine's a little broken, but that's okay. I still love it. No, it's not broken. Anyway. Oh my God, look at this. Okay. Okay. Does everybody see this?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I got bonus Kopiko!
So now we need another Kopiko to celebrate.
Whoa!
Oh, and thank you. And I'm going to say it wrong because I don't know if it's Palella or Palela. I'm not sure how you're going to do the double L's there, but thank you. They're a fan of us.
Indeed. Thank you. And Palella or Palela? Whatever it is. That's a good one. Oh.
Oh my gosh, but mine was broken and I didn't realize it. So I was like, oh. I can't hold it up though now.
All right.
Okay.
In our D&D universe, that's the name of the inn, the Broken Kopiko.
This now has to happen.
All right.
Okay. Now we need a verb for to come, right?
Ooh, Jasmine also has Kopiko. And yeah, Megan,
Yay!
I do want to try other flavors, but like this one's so good, you know. Dudley Moore and Peter Cook, thank you. Those guys are hilarious. Have you ever seen the original Bedazzled?
The piece broke off. It wasn't broken. I got a little extra piece too.
What?
And I was just like, oh my god, I almost choked on it.
How on earth does that happen?
That's bizarre. Okay.
Tupico.
Bedazzled. What?
Have you seen the original Bedazzled?
Is it a show?
No, a movie. Remember Bedazzled came out with Brendan Fraser? 90s?
Wow, I'm really not recalling that.
Ah, all right, never mind. Anyway, Dudley Moore's in that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Are we ready?
Ooh.
It is a sign, Megan. Must be a good day. Are we ready to tackle an actual word to come up with our post position?
Yes. I think. I don't know. Like, okay. I'm sorry. I kind of got lost. So the opossum climbed the mountain with the stick. And this thing is a participle. And we can do that in a number of ways, and we can discuss that later. We don't need to discuss it now. The question is, can we make this leap from this to adding participial morphology to it, even though it's not a verb? This is what we need to do. We need to come up with a strategy to make participles out of something that applies to both.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is just so many chicken and egg problems. Because I was thinking, well, why don't we do an add position? But then you have to figure out how you're doing add positions, which is the whole thing, the whole question.
And how verbal morphology is going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
A little something like that.
Yep. A little
Hey,
bit.
here's an idea.
Okay.
Here is an idea.
Got it.
What if we create one verb and just make our first sentence? What did the possum do? The possum.
Listen, on our schedule.
But then we have to decide case marking. Oh.
On our schedule, we're not creating our first verb for another 7 weeks. Don't jump ahead. No. But I intuitively feel what you're saying, because I was also going to suggest, why don't we create a verb?
Just to think through what verbs might do in the language. I feel like that's important.
Yeah, now W. Watson is there with a nice suggestion, suggesting jump, because it's something that's very obviously intransitive, and so you don't have to worry about things a lot yet. But I did want to do bite. Jump and bite. They go together very well. Sorry.
I guess possums do jump.
Oh, I've seen them. You never seen a possum jump?
Yeah, well, yeah, but like it's not, if you told me think of a verb for a possum, jump would be about 8 or 9 down in terms of how they move.
Man, when you scare them off a fence, they'll jump.
But okay, so jump, yes.
No.
Jump and bite.
We know somebody related to Elizabeth Hurley. That's nice. I think jump is very simple, and that's fine, and bite is very simple, and that's fine. And so whatever we end up doing, I think that we can absolutely come up with roots for those, and that they will be very, very simple. So let's come up with 2 roots.
Not a problem.
Hmm.
Not a problem at all.
Let's see what we got.
Yuan says ba or ban once again.
I kind of like ban for jump.
For jump, yeah, not for bite. It
Right.
doesn't feel bitey.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. I don't even know where we're putting this right now. I feel like I need to start.
Right now we've got. I'm actually going to take these two out and put them underneath vocabulary to start a list of things that we've actually created.
Okay. So ban is going to become ban with a long vowel. Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Do a little double check ski here. Yep. That's really evocative with a long vowel.
Okay, so now I've actually got things together. Possum goes bon.
And we have a suggestion of gup for bite, Effie for bite, Chla for bite. Getting a lot of CCV roots. We're not going to have too many of those. I'm just going to tell you that straight off. A little too imbalanced there. Kani is a word for bite. I'm pretty sure I've said that before. Kanu. That's right. Kanu. That's the word for bite in or eat in Castathan.
Oh, nice.
Kanupsa. I ate. Okay. Ziha. Tux.
Okay, so we actually have this root underneath the not so orange notes that we didn't use. We just talked about proto to modern form. Tused becoming faith. What do you think about that one?
It is very bitesome. You like it?
It's underneath the knan notes.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
That's why I suggested it.
Very good. Of course you did. Why did I? But sometimes it's nice to perform a little double check ski.
Like Santa Claus.
But wait, that doesn't sound right.
Is the form not right?
Yeah, like the vowel's just like out of nowhere.
Oh, it wouldn't be an E. It would be an eh.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that.
Okay. Oops.
I need to use the. I have a little problem with the. It calls up the wrong turned E. Okay, and then. Oh, right. For this. Bing. Cheat. And it's not with a long vowel. It's just cheat.
Okay.
Cheat.
I'm waiting
Sorry,
for it to
creep.
show up. Was that? Oh, there it is. Just with an I
Yeah, I don't know.
and a retroflex
Yeah,
S.
I don't know. It doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that back off the list.
Yeah. That was probably suggested before we really got in there with sound changes. So.
Okay. Got tux, tiag,
Clap. 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 So,
jiki,
Riki. I don't know if we have anything ending with two consonants like that, Mike.
What about Yuan's Ezga?
Ooh. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Ezga. Izga. It'll come out as Izga. It's pretty good.
I like that.
Me too.
I like that.
All right, let's do it.
So Ezga becomes whoop, whoop. And would that be a long I?
No. Short I.
Izga. Okay. All right. So Izga is to bite.
Yes.
In Dark Horse, we don't have any protoforms with 3 consonants in a row. Ooh, Alk is asking what Zajag would become. Zajag.
I'm trying to look at where that suggestion is. Also, I really like the way you said that.
Why, thank you. That was even with the Kopiko.
Oh, yeah. It was a flavored pronunciation. Where's Alk's? Where's Alk's comment? Why am I not seeing this?
I don't know. Do you see Mike asked if our proto-lang is C and then
Yes.
CVC? And yes, it is. It's right above that.
Right above that? Are you serious? I don't see his comment.
It goes Dark Horse asking a question, Alk, and then Mike's asking about proto-lang.
It's completely not there. It just goes.
Wow.
Oh.
Are you in top or live chat?
I don't know how to tell. It says both of them. It says live chat, and then below that it says top chat.
If you touch live chat, does it do anything? Oh, nobody else sees it. Alk, that's because you and I. This is why you're on my dodgeball team. Okay. So I'm going to type the protoform in.
Okay.
This is... Oh, and I apparently... Here's what Alk was asking about, what that protoform would be.
Zajag. Ooh. Zajag. My. Let's take that for a Zajag.
Alk said it's okay, it was for me only.
Okay. Ijak. Okay, that is a really nice word. It's way too big for anything that we are doing right now. But let's hang on to that one. Let's hang on to that one for a while. That's a good one.
Okay, and so you said it's going to be, it's hard to see. And that's a long A, right?
And it's got an I double J and then an with a long A and then ends with a K.
Ooh, that is nice. Okay, so that's going to be used somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Boo, Desanova, boo. Or wait, or is it Ziyag is what you're saying? Okay. Anyway. Okay, so I don't even know why we're on that. We have our words. We need to talk about verbs.
Yes. It was just a question about what it would look like, so we did it. Did we never write down the protoforms of nose and tongue?
Do we have a word for nose and tongue?
Yes, we can count them. I'm looking at 1 nose, 2 noses, 3 noses, 1 tongue, 2 tongues, 3 tongues. But I can't for the life of me find where we wrote down protoforms.
I think those are the protoforms. Oh. Oh. Okay, well we know what the protoform of Kanan is, right? So that's just K apostrophe N-A-N. I mean, because it could have many...
K apostrophe?
Did I say apostrophe when I meant schwa? How the hell did I do that? Whoa.
But wait, was this one though, remember? I think actually I had said the protoform was just going to be Knan. With no, like this was going to be our first consonant cluster protoform.
Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right, because it could be any of those things.
Yes.
Okay, so that one, okay, that protoform is just K-N-A-N. That's fine. The other one, I think the protoform is the same. That's why we didn't bother to write it down. So, la.
Okay.
La.
Okay. We're going to run with it. Oh, God. Okay. Yes, I figured out how to type it. This is like an adventure on the keyboard. All right. So we were talking about verbs.
Don't write it. I'm embarrassed enough. How do you confuse apostrophe with schwa? My goodness.
That's what happens
Yeah.
when you got frog legs on the mind.
Oh, jeez. Don't. Were they fried?
Hmm?
Were they fried?
Of course. What kind of question is that?
I'm not somebody that has any experience with frog legs at all, so I think it's a very valid question.
I mean, but have you ever heard of baked frog's legs? Like,
I don't know. Do you do a frog leg bake? Everybody gets together and brings a frog and you bake them up? Like a clam bake? I don't know.
I'm guessing you haven't had crawdads either.
No, oh no. I have had crawdads, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. We actually have a really good place near us for that. We went to for a friend's birthday, who lives in Japan, whom I saw, but who's coming back.
presumably.
No, he is.
And Evan, really, it was just that David didn't realize that I had eaten frog's legs in my past. He was asking if I ate them. I have eaten them before. But...
It was just your way of responding that was like, of course, this is a normal thing for all humans.
Where I come from is normal.
Well, I mean, I cannot complain. After all, I have eaten goat brain, and that was usual.
There you go.
I didn't know what they meant when they were saying carne en la cabeza. I didn't carne en la cabeza. My goodness, my Spanish is going too. I didn't know that meat of the head really meant goat brain.
That's pretty close. Okay. What
Okay.
were we doing with verbs?
Let's start with jump.
Okay.
That's simple. We're gonna start up here for some reason. Ban. Jump. And so what we need to talk about is jumping. How do we get there? X, that is jumping. The jumping X, something like that. We're going to start there. And, I wonder, maybe that's how we can do tense and everything. Maybe we can do this like Japanese and just have like on the end, that is where that's where all the tense stuff goes on the end. It's an auxiliary that has just glommed. And on the front, we could still do all the stuff we were planning on doing. The the movement stuff, the prefixal stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because like we talked about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, good.
But I believe what you're suggesting is a conglomeration. That's a hard word to get out. Conglomeration.
This will be good. Because it'll give us both our prefixes and our suffixes for our verbs. So now we know what they're doing. Our participles are going to be inherently smaller, which is also good.
Yes.
And then our nouns, of course, will be small because we're doing small nouns, big verbs here.
And that means we now have to figure out where we're going to derive that kind of participle.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes, it does. But I promise this time it can be simple.
Okay.
We can just use do.
So like the verb to do.
Yes, we can just do something like that. We don't have to go crazy and go into a bunch of different verbal classes depending on what type of a verb it is, even though that's very exciting. We don't have to do that. So, the opossum, the stick coming, the mountain climbed did. You know?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yes. This can work. All right. I'm thinking of copula as well. But I don't want to go too far, and I am looking at the time.
Right.
I'm not heading into the Warren, as it were.
Mike wants to know, well, yeah, because that's the wrong language. Mike wants to know if we could go a little crazy and have do, go, so our motion verbs are special.
But I promised Jesse already that this would be simple. Stop tempting me.
That's not... I mean, I already am not going to be able to pronounce the language. But that's not so bad, though. I mean, it would be motion verbs versus other verbs. I'm on board with that.
Okay. I also wanted to go simpler on motion verbs because we were already going to have all this built-in morphology to talk about directionality.
Okay. So no on, is that a no-go?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, but I think it could work.
Okay.
Yeah, oh my. Okay. This is how it could work. So, we have essentially two auxiliaries, and they're just do and go, right? And then go is used for pretty much all motion. Think about how, like, with ASL, like, you can actually have motion verbs, but most of the time you just do a classifier and just show where it's going, right?
Sure.
So it'll be something like that. We just have go, and then we have do. And so for specialized action, you actually do have to flip to do. So it's like you can just use go and describe the motion, or you can flip it to do and have a special verb, like doing a fancy walk.
That's really cool. Also, you chose my favorite hand classifier to demonstrate that.
It is my favorite too. High five. Yeah. Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, so I like that
a
lot.
Let's just write this down a little bit. Do auxiliary.
I also really like the entire food discussion going on in our comments. This is great.
I've been totally missed that fancy raisin. Because lemedad looks like Turkish, doesn't it? Good pastry too. Hazelnut. Oh, yep. Hazelnuts. Cheese. Vegan cheese.
Okay, so, well, yes. Of course there's vegan cheese. Cashew cheese is the best. Is that note enough for you to remember what we're talking about, or?
Kind of. Yeah, because, okay, so I'm looking at the time because we should probably, even before getting back into this, we should probably talk about the poll, shouldn't we?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And nothing obvious is springing to mind other than
No.
suggestions. Again.
Right. I mean, we could throw some really high level stuff, but I'm leaning away from it now. Like something that I initially I took as a matter of course was verbal agreement, but now I think I'm going to take that off the table in terms of person agreement. I don't think it makes sense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts, just a second, I was typing a note as well.
Yeah, nice.
And I missed the second half of what you said, and I was going to catch up in my brain, but then you asked me what my thoughts were, and I need you to repeat the question.
That is okay. Verbal pronominal agreement, person agreement, I was thinking of completely axing it.
I'm okay with that.
All right. Cool. Then we don't need it.
We did at one point say we were gonna, because we did figure out number, and we did
Yes.
say then at some point we're gonna need to figure out pronouns. Is there something with pronouns that we could have people vote on?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. We can do that. Okay, so first and second person, that's a given. And then, okay, so one question is if we want to extend dual to pronouns, but
Yes.
should we? How many languages have dual number but not dual pronouns? I don't think it's many.
I know that some of them only have dual for like first and second person, but not for third.
Yeah, like
if they have dual for nouns.
Hawaiian has dual pronouns but not dual nouns.
Okay.
Is that right? That might be wrong.
Really? Okay.
That might be wrong.
Well, then, I'm
Crap.
gonna look it up while you're thinking.
I am kind of embarrassed by that. Look up just Google Hawaiian pronouns. That should do it. So, it's like
It says there is a form known as the dual form, which is not spoken all the time in English. I don't know what that means, but the dual form of a pronoun refers to two people. Yeah. So it looks like there is.
okay. So I didn't misremember. All right. That's fine.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Okay, so the things that immediately popped to mind were whether or not to have dual in pronouns, but I don't know, kind of feels like we should. And then what to do with our third person pronouns. So like if we were going to have them at all, because you don't necessarily need third person pronouns. But if we're not going to have agreement, it feels kind of like we should. But you don't have to. You don't even have to do that. You don't have to have third person pronouns at all.
Really?
Yeah, no, you can get away with that. That's fine.
Not even a single generic one to cover not me, not you?
Some do it. Like some. So it's like a stage of development thing. So some will just use the demonstratives, but it will be identical to a demonstrative in every single way. So give it to that one.
So that's how they refer. Okay. So
yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe it does make more sense where there is person marking. I don't know, but I'm just thinking the fact that Japanese is a bunch of pronouns, but they never use them, and they don't have agreement, so they see, and it seems to be fine.
Okay. I get what you're saying. For some reason, when you said that, it blocked out all pronouns that were not first or second person. So like in my head, I was like, how do you would always have to use a noun, and that wouldn't make sense. It's good.
Yeah.
Demonstratives exist.
Um,
So that's definitely an idea. I feel like if we could even make it into a couple week poll, because I'm not sure we're going to be ready to actually create pronouns for a while.
sure.
If we wanted to first narrow down, do we want dual pronouns? And then another week, what do we want to do with a third person split?
That's
Or
probably
have no third person at all?
that's probably easiest. And I should say that I am totally fine with either of them because it makes sense that you would have it makes sense that you would have the way that we've done our dual. It makes sense that you would only have it with nouns, so I'm fine with
Right.
that. But then of course dual pronouns and nouns is also fine. So yeah, I'm totally good with either.
I think the poll that needs to come first is whether we have third person pronouns, and if we do, what split we have, because then the next vote, dual, would affect that, because we would need to decide, like, if we do have third person pronouns, do they also do, like, do all persons get the dual split if
Yeah,
we have it?
It'll be pretty big. And then I might change my mind if I see too many pronouns.
Right.
Okay. But then what are the options for third person? Like, what do we do?
One, no third person.
And then 2 would be just, a basic third person pronoun for either. And then 3
To
would be...
cover everything. And then the third one would be some sort of split in the third person. And whether we wanted to say, like, they split it on animacy or, animate.
Let's do that.
versus inanimate.
A couple of people have been in favor of that. So, okay. So, none, 1, or animacy split. Sorry.
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah, that's good.
And then that gives us step 1 and how to format the table. And then step 2 will be if we want to incorporate a dual option.
Yes. Okay, good. All right. That settles us. And if we come up with something better next week, we come up with something better. But that at least takes care of this week. Good. Okay.
I like it.
All right. Okay.
Now we have 11 minutes. Do you want to get back to...
Let's do it. So...
And I made the notes bigger so that way I understood what those notes were about do versus go, because I know I'm going to forget in a week.
Oh. How much bigger?
Just enough that I could remember. Oh, Dark Horse is actually asking a good question here. Have you guys decided on a thing?
Oh my gosh, that's right. And we were almost going to forget, weren't we? Okay. Right. No, because we've been meaning to say this the past couple of weeks. Okay, so here in the United States, right, we have a number of either holidays or quasi-holidays. Quasi or quasi? Am I have too much octonauts in my brain?
Honestly, I say it either way, and it depends on what follows it for whether I feel more quasi or quasi.
What do you feel for blank holidays?
Quasi-holiday. No, quasi-holiday. Quasi.
Okay. Quasi it is.
Quasi did not work at all when I said it out loud.
All right.
Let's go, Octonauts!
Sorry. All right. Okay, so again, in the U.S., we have a number of quasi-holidays coming up on Thursdays. So Thanksgiving in the U.S. is always on a Thursday, but this year it also happens to be the case that Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are also on Thursdays. So it doesn't seem fair to those that are in the U.S. to have a regular episode on those days, because you would feel like you might have to watch in order to follow along, and then a lot of people are doing family stuff. So we decided we're not going to do regular episodes on those days. We're not going to be having an episode at all on Thursdays because I'm actually going to have people in the house and it's going to be too busy. So apologies there. We will not be on Thanksgiving, though I suppose. No, wait, because they're going to be there a while, so I can't just flip it to a different day. Anyway, so Thanksgiving is probably going to be off. But today, because we were wondering what to do about this, Jesse had the most amazing idea, and I absolutely love it. So on Christmas Eve and on New Year's Eve, we are going to be creating 2-hour self-contained language sketches for other animals in this universe, potentially holiday themed. For example, what do we think about reindeer?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What other like holiday, Christmassy, New Year's animal is there?
I feel like a dove. We need a dove for New Year's.
That's big. That's big. Crap. Like I don't even know if I was going to go that specific. It was just going to be birds. It was definitely okay. Owls were going to be separate, right? Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Dove. Okay, I have to think about that. Do you know I love mourning doves?
I do now.
The sounds they make, we get them around here. I like them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just thinking they represent peace.
Oh yeah, yeah.
2021 needs some dove.
And of course, when you said it, I just thought of chocolate.
That too. The world needs more chocolate.
Okay.
Nice. So anyway, that's an idea. We could, of course, run with a different animal, but reindeer, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, just letting you know that is coming up. Oh, Finnish goat, Christmas goat laying. Goats would actually be funny too. I wonder if I can't wait for Gadleyboken. I've told you about Gadleyboken, right? Yeah.
Evan says, "What's more Christmassy than a porcupine?"
Oh.
That's amazing.
Oh,
okay.
Cardinals.
So yes, that we will figure out the animals by then. But yes, that will be our 2 week in a row because they're back to back.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve.
All right. I got distracted by 3 things in my head. And they're just juggling right now. But anyway, yeah. So I'm glad that we said that because I almost forgot again. Oh, hi, kitty. Anyway, so now we got 6 minutes.
And we have some verbs to stare at.
Yeah, can we just talk about participles for like a second? All right. So like, the whole point of doing this, right, was to come back and find something to do with our adjectives. But with everything that we've just proposed, it's almost like we are coming back to bare participles. So I think we need a little something. I don't want to say the word reduplication to you because I know that brings back bad memories. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
I know.
I'm listening.
I know. Well, I was trying to think of a way to like give us an aspectual split that could still be relevant for participles but would be superseded by the auxiliaries, and that is what I came up with. Because, it's so easy to just take reduplication and give it to the progressive form. However, could be simple, like...
Can it just be like final syllable reduplication instead of what we did with Ingala?
Well, I was thinking that maybe it could be with a consonant.
Like a set consonant?
like
with vowel reduplication, or
well, like in Arabic, for example, you often get the causative form or something akin to the causative form of a verb by geminating the middle consonant of the root, and so like uh, I don't even remember if darasa means study and darasa means to teach. I want to say that it does, but I also can't think of another pair just off the top of my head. I don't know. Anyway, so that was an idea. That was an idea, throwing it out. But I know we don't like it. I like the idea of just throwing a single consonant on the end somehow. I just don't know where it would come from and why it would be there.
well, if it were final syllable reduplication or partial, it have to be partial because we got so many one syllable words. Or we will. Never mind. No. That's going to result in something worse than what I had to deal with in Ingala. I don't think I said anything.
Okay, so that's what we needed to start thinking about. Is we need to start thinking about this sentence. So when you talk about doing something, doing a climbing, or did a climb, or something like that, how are we going to get there? And you could also have, did a getting climbed, so the mountain was climbed. You could do that. Yeah, there's a particle, right? Geminate final consonant equals from the suffix ha, but then what would that come from? Full reduplication is probably not going to happen. Just because we just did that, I know. This is
If it were a prefix,
situation.
if it were a prefix, it would make sense to do like the partial initial, like baban would be jumping. But to get it final, it doesn't make sense to me to be like banba. I don't know why. It just doesn't. Bamba.
I feel like if I sat here doing this for an hour and a half, I would get something, but we don't have that kind of time.
I feel like I would get vertigo.
By the way, does it ever bother you when I do this? Does your chair do this?
If I stare at you for if you were gonna rock like that for an hour and I were to just stare at you, then yeah, I'd get vertigo. But I'm not gonna stare at you rocking.
Do you? Does your chair do this? Does your chair do this?
It kind of, but not like it's not like yours.
Okay.
I just got some give, so I could do that, but not. It's not full.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think we got to sleep on this for a week. So.
Well, and Evan's asking about rhyming, like banan.
Nope. Not gonna happen for this language. No, it doesn't make sense. Anyway. Yeah. I feel you, Ragdoll. Okay.
So does this mean if we need to sleep on that, does this mean we're at a stopping point?
Yes, we are, but I want to write down what Mike just said, and I want to remember it. I'm going to put it right here. Idea. Verbal aspectual distinction potentially leads to consonant doubling. Comes from standalone adverb meaning there. That's a really good idea, and then we have there and here. We have there and here.
And yeah, Evan, participles can come from reduplication. That's right. That's actually one of the things we were just talking about. So
Okay. Here for
the question is how.
here
we would do
for
it.
imperfect, there for perfect. Okay, that might be it. I don't know, but that might be it. That's a really good idea. Thank you, Mike. And so I'm glad I got that down. I'll remember it. I'll look at it next week, and then we'll discuss it then. I'll just have to remember it because sometimes weeks last years. Okay.
Indeed.
There we go. Okay. Ooh.
Because I don't want to lose that.
Ooh, yes. Thank you for that.
Can we
Okay.
agree that's red?
Mm-hmm. 100% red. 100% red. Doesn't look slightly orange. 100% red. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So, thank you. It may feel like we didn't make progress, but I think we made progress. So, thank you so much, and thank you for the suggestions today. They were really, really good. Stay drop cap.
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
And Mateus, I'm so glad you were able to stay the whole time, and happy to be here, and wishing you all sorts of health.
Likewise. Feel.
And Megan, stay knanmer. I love it.
All right. So, thank you, and we will see you next week.